What's up, guys? It's Missy. I wanted to get this video out for you guys right away before everybody starts freaking out. You do have double points war assignments this week. I don't recall seeing anything that stated that this was going to be going on, but I believe that right here, if you click on this thing here, it says earn double the usual amount of war points launching disasters on the wasp things, whatever you call them, the stupid little fucking robotic flies. That's what I'm gonna call them. That does not say that it's going to give you double points in the contest, but that's what's happening. So last night when the contest of mayors begun, I had a 5,000 point war delivery assignment, and it threw me off for a second. I'm like, oh, it's double points week. Maybe I somehow lost a week because I've been going through a lot. And then I'm like, wait, no, we still have like 12 days left or whatever. And so that's when I realized it wasn't all of the assignments. It was the war related assignments. So like the monster was also included in that. War deliveries and anything with war is what I'm noticing has double points. So that being said, what do you do this week about it? How do you pick your tasks? Basically, what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to look at this from my perspective. Okay, so if you put premiums of high values before everything else, and war tasks are premiums already, right? Most of them, if not all of them, are already premiums. So think about it like this. You need to make those assignments a priority, more of a priority than you would normally. So let's say that you have it would be a 2K booster, okay, this week rather than a 1K booster. So you're going to need to make sure that whatever club you're in is doing war, and when they, whatever schedule your club has, you need to get as much done as possible when you are in your active wars. And if you end up in a situation where you have high war assignments come in during your downtimes that are going to block, good tasks from coming in, then you're going to have to bite the bullet and take the downtime and then just work your ass off during war, okay? Because otherwise what's going to happen is you're going to get these war assignments when your war ends, and then you're not going to be able to do them. And you're either going to have to cancel them, and they're probably just going to come right back, because my guess would be is that they increase the algorithm of these tasks, maybe not. They may not have, but there's no way for us to know that without first seeing how this pans out, and then by then it's over, right? So the best thing that you can do is assume the worst. Assume that you're going to get those tasks at any time and be prepared to do them. So that being said, you guys need to hustle your asses off during war, okay? More than you would normally, and you need to put those war tasks into a higher rotation bracket, meaning that if you wouldn't normally rotate this war assignment, you need to probably rotate it in so that you can get that possibility to come in of a higher value. For example, let's say that you have a war deliveries for a lower value, but you have something of a much higher value, and war ends in just a couple of hours. Don't just dink around with something that has a couple hundred points more over doing something that would potentially not be able to be done in a couple of hours, right? Just pretty much common sense type stuff. Try to make sure that you can get all of those done. Okay, that being said, I'm going to be doing the walkthrough city this week. I had to set up a Chromebook that I got, and I had to do a couple of other things and deal with some stuff this week. But I have that city in my club now. Right now it's going to remain in my club until we fill up again. We had a member leave, and then he didn't want to leave, but he left. Anyway, so we're going to have to fill that spot. So we do have one spot available in the group right now. And then I can also drop that walkthrough city out whenever we need another space. So if you guys are looking for a club, we're already in war, obviously. But when we end war, you'll have a 12-hour window where you can join in. So if you're somebody who's like in a club that's not benefiting you, or you just hit level 18 and you're looking for a group and you're a strategic player, okay, you got to be a strategic player and you've watched the group rules video, then you can go ahead and hit me up in the comments section on YouTube or on Facebook, and I will do my best to make it work to where you can get in during our downtime. All right, you guys, good luck this week. And again, you know, we do have a Facebook page, SimCity Buildit, MissyAnne. If you go to our Facebook page, that's where I post links to all the guides and the videos. For those of you who didn't see it or weren't aware, I updated the Contest of Mayors document. So I put that new link in the description. I took out the old link and put in the new one. So there is that. The way the CoM guide was before was it had some old information, and then I had done a quick guide, which was just basically just a little sheet that said what you needed to know about each task. I also inserted that quick guide into the main guide, and I rewrote the main guide so it's all up to date. Anything I'm going to be adding to it, it's not 100% finalized, but it's 99.9% done. I'm not calling it 100% done just yet because there's always like changes and things like that, but it's pretty much done. So you can go ahead and print that off, or you know, just have it on your phone or whatever, but you will need to refer back to that until you get to know what you need to know about each task. And what you need to know about each task is value, opportunity, and algorithm. Those are the three main things that you need to know about every task. You need to know what its value is capable of, which would mean, is it premium or non-premium? What ability does it, you know, like what are the points values it can be worth? If you don't remember that a regular residential can only be worth 2,400 versus a Latin for 3,600, then you're going to make errors when canceling, right? So you need to remember the values and what they have the ability to be worth and what they don't. Then you need to go off of opportunity. Every task holds a different level of opportunity. You know, rotating in an epic is going to hold a different level of opportunity than rotating into monster, because the monster is like always there, right? And the monster is also a very limited assignment. It can only be done when he's there, and it only has so much health. So you can't just repeatedly do the monster. So that one is also going to be problematic in your list if it's in there of a high value and the monster is several days out. That means you're going to have to make up for those points somewhere else. You're going to have to open up those doorways, because you only have so many tasks that can be worth that value, okay? And if you're forced to have that one sit, then you have to open it up somewhere else. Now, I'm going to be doing detailed videos that are going to be extremely valuable to you guys. I'm going to be kind of redoing the CoM videos in a sense where I go through and I talk about all of the main things that you guys need to know, okay? Like everything in one video in a sense, because a lot of people, you know, it really comes down to there's so many things when it comes to this, but ultimately when I do the walkthrough videos and I go through and I show you guys like firsthand, like this is what you do, this is how you do it, it seems to be more informational in that way rather than just breaking it down individually. So I'm going to do my best to show you the start to finish process in one video, like how you would do your prep, and then how you would do your task assessment, and so on. So be prepared that you're going to be seeing a video on the channel that says something like, you know, most important CoM video or something like that. And that one definitely you guys will all want to watch. Even if you've been doing good at CoM, there's probably mistakes that you guys are still making that would benefit if you would not make those mistakes, right? So your score would go up. But yeah, so be prepared to get that. I'll be having that out, and you'll be able to watch that probably this week. I want to get it done like today or tomorrow. The next thing is, if you guys have any questions or feedback, put it in the comments section, because that really, really helps when it comes to writing the guides and doing the videos. Every time anybody, it doesn't matter who it is, anytime anybody ever has a problem or question, I analyze that question and I think, how many other people think like that? And how do I fix that thought process? right? So, for example, I had somebody ask me, you know, what the why they were able to collect their regional coins and why they disappeared. And I'm like, okay, but in many of my videos, I've shown them like, hey, you know, they didn't disappear. You still get them once you unlock them. They'll be visible. Your neo-simoleons will be visible to you. You know, so they're not just getting wasted. But what was interesting was I was like, well, okay, click on your regional currency on the top of your screen here, and it will show you what you have. And he was just like mind blown. Like, what? That happens? You know, like, yeah, you know, how many other people don't know that? And so I tried to at least bring it up in my videos. And the problem is, though, is a lot of you guys that watch me, some of you guys just binge watch my videos, you know, like you're here for every video all the time. And I know for you guys, a lot of this stuff probably gets repetitive and you're like, man, you've said this 90,000 times. How do these people not understand? But let me tell you, they don't. I don't know. Okay. I don't understand it either. But man, I swear to you guys, I could start off every video saying the grass is green and some dumbass is going to come out and be like, hey, Missy, what color's the grass? Like, are you fucking kidding me right now? I've said it was green in the beginning of every video and they're just like, you did? I did. What, you didn't hear me? Oh, I didn't notice. Or they'll be like, oh, I heard you. And I'm just looking at them dumbfounded. Then why are you asking if it's pink? You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And they just like, I don't know. I just figured I'd ask, you know, because I know you said it 90,000 times, but I just figured I'd ask. But thanks, have a nice day. It's like, oh my God, don't tell me have a nice day when you just annoyed the fuck out of me. Like, seriously? Come on. So, I mean, everybody's going to have a question. Everybody always says there's no such thing as a stupid question. I don't believe that. I think there's lots of stupid questions. But the question is whether or not, maybe I'm just an asshole. Yeah, there is. There's stupid questions. Some of them are stupid questions because it's not that the question would be stupid if they hadn't been given the knowledge. See, a lot of people will be like, I've got a cousin that he's kind of a know-it-all, you know, and he kind of towers up over his friends whenever he knows something that they don't. Like whenever he's fixing cars or whatever, you know, he's always like, God, this person didn't know how to like put a tranny in the car. And I'm like, how would they? I mean, that's not common knowledge, dude. Just because you or I know doesn't mean they're going to know. And he's just like looking at me dumbfounded. I'm like, not everybody has a daddy with a shop and that teaches them this stuff. You got to remember, you don't pop up out the womb. There was a time where you didn't know what you were doing either, you know? So the idea in my mind is there's people that are uneducated and then there's people that are stupid. And when you look at it from that perspective, what you're saying is that a stupid person is somebody who's been given the knowledge but can't comprehend it, whereas somebody who's uneducated has been given the knowledge or hasn't been given the knowledge, and therefore if they had, they would have understood or comprehended it, right? So a lot of people, I can tell a lot about a person by the way they present themselves to me after watching my videos. You know, I've got people that present themselves to me like, hey, Missy, I've been watching a lot of your videos. I've got my CoM prep. I've got this done. I've got that done. I understand this, this, and this, but I just need help with this, this, and this. That is totally 100% on point. That makes full sense. You know, nobody's going to understand this shit right away. No matter how many videos you watch, it's going to take practice. This shit is not easy. But I'm talking people that are like, hey, Missy, I've watched all your videos and I've been doing mega, but I did all my beach at the beginning and like I canceled 24 tasks already and I have $2 cash and like I'm level 45. Do you think my city's worth saving? What? You know what I'm saying? Like that type of shit. And I'm just like, did you watch this video and this? Oh yeah, I've watched them. Oh yeah. I'm like, and you remember when I said this, this, and this? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, uh-huh. So then what the problem is? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the type of questions I'm talking about. So if you have questions, like I said, always ask them. If I've said it 97 times, I'm probably going to tell you, hey, go look at the video where I said it 97 times. It didn't change just because you asked me. But if it's something, even though I've talked about it, but you need better explanation or you need me to explain it in a different way, that would be the type of questions that I'm talking about. Like people that have a hard time with rotating in their tasks. That makes full sense, you know? Like, well, what do I choose? Do I choose this or do I choose this under these circumstances? You know? And those types of questions are not stupid questions by far. Like I said, it takes time. Don't feel like you're an idiot just because you don't understand the whole process of this bullshit. Okay, it took me a long time to really analyze this stuff, put it together, and get it, you know, all written out and everything. And so then the other thing too is that a lot of people are not remembering, and you guys hear me when I say this, you cannot play the contest as a high-level player with the low-level method, okay? So a lot of you guys are playing low-level CoM method with high-level cities, and you're wondering why your scores are not anywhere near the top, because you're not doing it right. These, when you read the top of the guides in the big bold red letters where it says level 18 to 29 without regionals unlocked, that right there is very important. Okay, a high-level city is not going to play the same way because you guys have upgrades. You can do upgrades, or you have regional assignments, so you're not rotating the same things, you're not picking the same tasks. High-level players almost always go for their highest task, but rotate in their premiums of a lower value when they need to open up higher values. Okay, so let's say that you're a high-level player and you have Omega for 1,000 upgrade, you have like a London upgrade for 1,000, a Paris upgrade for 1,000, and a Latin premium for, you know, 1,200. Okay, that for a low-level player is a fabulous list, right? But for a high-level player, that is a horrid list because now you have all these premiums of a low value that you could be doing. So let's say that you were to do a Latin upgrade for the 1,200. Now you've opened up the possibility of that task coming in worth 3,600, which is a good thing for a high-level player, right? But for a low-level player, it's not so hot. Now you have to remember, you also got to analyze your competition and what they're doing. So for a high-level player, let's say you're thinking like, well, when I was a low-level CoM player, I could run this average and it was good enough, but that's because the competition was different. You're not, as a low-level player, you're almost never going against people that are leveling. Most of them are camping, right? Or they level so slow because they're not in a super big hurry and they're not playing, you know, anybody who's going to play and hit the top of the leaderboard has to have a little bit more than basic knowledge. Therefore, they've either they're completely retarded and they're just leveling up like crazy, which you'll know right at the beginning of the week, and then you'll be able to prepare for that. Or there's somebody who's like, hey, steps back, and they know like, hey, I'm not leveling. So when you start to notice, like, for example, we had the first week with the design challenge, I knew that a lot of people were going to make that mistake and level. And so I told a lot of players like, hey, take a chill week this week, watch your leaderboard because a lot of people are going to be leveling. Do not fall into that category of people. Do not be somebody who levels up strictly just for the stupid pass, unless there's something in there that you actually really want. Okay? And that right there, a lot of those weeks, it was like predictable. You know, you could predict the behavior of the other players because of the fact that what's going on in the game, right? So like the Easter assignments, when we had those those were a little more tricky to kind of get around. So you also have to keep up to date with what's going on in the game and change your methods to fit what's going on in the game. And that's why I try to get these videos up for you guys as soon as possible, so that you guys are up to date with what you need to know going into the contest. So if you have a monster in your list worth a high value, remember, do it as soon as you can. Okay, get that done. If you don't and it's worth a lower value, leave it sit. Now you got to remember, if it's for double points week, then the lowest it's going to be able to be is 2,000, right? So if it's at the 2,000, leave it sit. Do not do it if it's at 2,000 points, okay? Because it's not going to come in for any lower than that. It's always going to be sitting there for that value. So I should have said that at the beginning of the video. But if you have it in for like 4,000, then you need to get that done, right? It's because you want it to come in worth a lower value. If you do it for 2,000 and you open up the possibility for it coming back for 4,000, then it's just going to block even more, right? It's going to be there no matter what. That's just the way that stupid task works. So if it's at its lowest point, don't open up the possibility for it to come in worth a higher value, okay? All right, you guys, good luck.